Testing. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing. Here we go. Okay, I feel like that. Okay, I like that. I want to hear more of that, but we're not gonna listen to it right now. Let's go back to face cam. What's good, my people? I've been gone for like a week and a half, something like that now. I'm not sure. Been a while, but I'm back. I'm here, and we are going to start today by reacting to some videos. We're only gonna go for like a good 30 minutes, but that's good enough for me for tonight. Like I said, I'm just trying to get my wings stretched out. And last week then got me off the flow. So now I'm jumping back on it, on the horse, not nothing else. Jumping back on it and gonna get it going. So let's get started.
Hello everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. This girl is a new driver and her brother was absolutely terrified.
Why are you crying? You're not gonna die.
Dale. We named the pig Dale. Hey, yo. That moose said that he ain't care at all. He probably couldn't see because of the light. Audrey Hepburn. Dude, what the?
The student.
That was the most power I've ever seen and the flattest booty ever. Like, Jesus.
Notorious for skipping out on class, so the professor took all the students to go visit him.
It's good to see you. Hi. How you doing? Are you chilling? Whoa. Sorry, man. I'm just trying to get out of here. Can I get out of here? Sure. You don't tell anybody about this.
I won't tell nobody, bro. Seriously? He's like,
This has got to be the weirdest reaction I've ever seen at a gender reveal.
alright, bro. I start murdering everybody? Like, yeah, I got a boy. Let's stab everybody. Like, what?
This guy thought it would be
Well.
a good idea to feed his car some cheese.
I seen this. This is dumb as hell. Nope. See, you deserve that. You deserve that. You done messed it up now. What you get for being young.
I have never seen such a smiley dog before.
Hey, buddy. Everybody was hurt. Oh, 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 oh.
This cat was saved from a pack of scary street dogs.
Mufasa. Long live the king.
So this is pretty cool. This is what a motorcycle bar looks like in London.
A motorcycle bar? You can just do that? This all looks unsafe.
This lawyer was pulled over by the police.
Rolling down the window to talk to you is all I'm actually legally required to do. There's no reason for me to leave the vehicle.
You sure about that, little
Little messing up.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm a solicitor, so yeah, I do know the law.
That is the end of this video.
Right.
Hope you
She's like,
enjoyed.
I'm finna sue
I'll
you.
see
I'm
guys
finna get
next
all your money.
time. Later.
So yeah, I do know it. I'm finna have fun with you. Oh my god. I'm not even really ready to look at that yet. Uh mm, okay, I wanna watch this.
With the release of Fire Emblem Engage tomorrow, an accompanying developer interview covering who is in charge, a change in direction, characters, the emblem mechanic, and the art direction were spoken of. There is a lot of
Get my full 1080p going.
information within it, and this video serves to highlight what I believe are the most important and intriguing parts. The interview itself is linked down below. But first, if you've been supporting my content for a while and you want to support
I just realized I don't have my
hang out, get behind the scenes videos, exclusive Q&As, and Discord chats, and get to know the private community. I
there we
will
go. We
also
got
be live
Restream
streaming
open
Engage
for my
tomorrow
chat.
on my streaming channel. So if you want to see my live reactions to Engage, check out Farcast streams linked below. Now let's get started with the video. Engage this time around ended up having two directors, which represented the companies involved with the game.
Oh boy.
Intelligent Systems
That explains why
was
Aquafresh is the main character. It's got
Intelligent
two different
Systems
people.
director, and was in charge of setting up the game's theme and direction, which is vital as this was his first time on the role. Meanwhile, Nintendo's Kenta Nakanishi took the responsibility of communicating with Intelligent Systems and managing both companies' progress. Masahiro Higuchi and Genki Yokota, meanwhile, also returned from previous entries as producers. A change in direction. In stark contrast with Three Houses, which was set in the Officers Academy and featured branching stories involving the titular houses that can
Three Houses was, I was about to say Three Horses. Three Houses was actually like a really good game, and I loved it. I played like the first like 5-10 minutes of this one, and so far it's not really grabbing me.
This way, more focus would be given to tactical gameplay, all while carrying RPG-like elements of moving through a world map to progress the story and raise your character's strength. Not to mention, the new direction also impacted the game's box art, as unlike past entries which came after Awakening featuring the main character sharing spotlight with other key players, for Engage the two Allirs were put directly at its very center to communicate the kind of
I wouldn't like the box art actually does look good, but I really dislike the design choice to put the two hair colors. I really dislike that. It is so looks terrible.
journey that awaits players. It's similar to Three Houses' Byleths, but it's like if the Byleths were at the very front and the house leaders were instead behind them. Nakanishi. But we wanted our
Okay, the other thing that I think is like really important was the last game, your character, like he's important in the story, but he kind of like just sits in the background. He allows you to project onto them. Which I think that was like a very good decision. Like they seem kind of like passive in how they act. Whereas like this, Alir is very obviously like his own person, and he's kind of how'd you put it? He seems I don't feel like I can project off onto that character as much. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like Byleth, like these weren't the best designs, but like they were enough. Like to be honest, they kind of look like background characters that they kind of souped up, which is mostly true. Whereas these three all look like they could be the main characters, but it's like these are people you were doing stuff with. This game to me was more about like the connections you built with other people and what was happening with them. It did kind of include what's happening with him, but like, and he was like the main focus of the story, but like he himself was, well, these characters were not as important. I think you could have switched them out and had everything fine.
But we wanted our players
Whereas from what I've started of this, it's different.
fantasy game. Alir, the protagonist that players control, grows as an individual guided by the emblems and leads the way, working with allies to achieve a great goal.
Yeah.
Alear in the center of the main visual. Yokota. Having multiple story paths makes the game interesting, but some may find the idea of playing all of them a bit overwhelming. But we have a world map in this title, so we hope our players will feel a sense of adventure as they travel across the continent of Elios. This time we wanted to create a game that appeals to a broader audience so that even players who are not yet aware of the fun of turn-based tactical RPG games would find it interesting just by looking at its visuals. Alir's personality. Due to the director's belief that traditional brave heroes no longer resonate with people as they used to, Alir was made to start more vulnerable and even not so heroic compared to
Yeah, he's kind of like lame in the beginning.
This angle ended up overdone so much
I
that
hate
they
the
stepped
hair.
in
It's so bad.
to give up on Alir. The end result, in their opinion, is a protagonist who gradually grows during the story and eventually reaches the image of an expected classic hero. Yet,
Like in Three Houses, I used a male Byleth. So like in this one, I wanted to use a female character. So I'm just like, okay, well, play the last one male. I'm gonna play this one female. And it's like, I can't because like the male one is he's acceptable. I can see it on the screen, but like this mess, it's giant flowing mess. Look at that. It's so ugh. And they're both like super saturated.
Yes, when a protagonist is a royal, they are often associated with bravery or thought to have a sense of mission to fight against fate and challenges. And I believe those are the traits that people generally associate with heroes. However, I thought such heroes are unlikely to resonate with people today. Let's say someone tells you one day out of nowhere that your mission is to save the world. My guess is that your response wouldn't be like, okay, I'll do my best. So at the early stage of development, we had many moments where Alir fears the enemies and says unheroic things. We were worried that players would give up on the protagonist before they could get emotionally attached to them. But we knew we wanted to create a story that matches the modern world and made some adjustments. Characters. As for getting into developing,
I gotta give it a little bit more, but
the main idea considered for it was depicting royals and nobility who could be relatable and down to earth with a modern audience, all while each of them featured their own unique qualities. But it's been more than 30 years since the first game in the series, so there are some elements that have changed over generations.
I feel like they did a good job with that in the last game. Like, no, they did because like I don't know if she's in a, like I said, I haven't gotten too far into the game, so I'm kind of speaking out of my ass. But this character, if she's supposed to be like a royal, for example, like she doesn't read like it at all, which is concerning. It's a lot of, maybe when I play through this game, like I'll really like start to like love it like I did Three Houses, but like the design choices are kind of in for me, you know, they're all over the place.
For example, the characters in this game are royals and nobles, but they're also somewhat down to earth and relatable. It's the
Why? They're royals. Like we know they're already royals. Like the most the blonde hair girl with the red clothes on from Three Houses. She was a royal and like she had that air about her, but like the way they humanized her and made her relatable was that like she had these responsibilities that she had to keep up that she didn't necessarily like. She kind of felt she had to do it, and it was like kind of like a lot on her. Like that was the thing that humanized her. Like, oh, she didn't seem like this away standoffish figure. She's like somebody who like she's like a regular person put into that position. I didn't really play through the Path of Love 2, so I don't know them as well. Especially the brother on it, the one with the yellow on, who got the bow. Him, he didn't seem like he seemed like he was like, no, he didn't seem like a royal because he wasn't. He was like he was like the son of the head of like this like merchant association or something like that. And like as a result, he was kind of like, he kind of knew he had a higher place, but at the same time, like he was just kind of like, chill, I'm gonna do what I want, freedom, you know. And then the blue guy, he kind of seems like he's traditional, like, no, justice and peace, and it's like, no. He didn't seem as relatable. But what's her name? I want to say Adelheid, but I'm like 90. I know that's not the name. I don't know, but her name, the girl, the blonde hair girl or white hair girl from Three Houses, she was actually pretty relatable, you know. Whereas this, like,
Kind of closeness you might feel towards
I don't
celebrities,
know.
you can someone
I had
else.
no idea until literally when they just mentioned it that this girl might be a royal. I would assume she was like some like fishing village princess or maybe that, or maybe she just came from some like village like on a beach or something like that. But I wouldn't expect her to be a
It's
royal.
the kind of closeness you might feel towards celebrities you can casually interact with on social media. Of course, every character has their own unique qualities to make them stand out on their own. The emblem mechanic. The whole idea of having characters
This
contribute
is
to
cool. I
and
like
support
this
the
a lot.
protagonist and their gang initially came, which may not end up being surprising, from the marriage system from Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War, Awakening, and Fates. While
Never
discussing
played
the
those.
mechanic which would define this game, developers noticed that with the marriage system, it's common that not only would players get to see the final outcome of their pairing late into the game, they would also want to try different combinations upon reaching it, but would face the issue that this means restarting the game from scratch.
The whole
Instead,
game.
Cage's emblems are meant to be a more casual take on the idea. They all provide characters various benefits when pairing with specific lords, all while being
So I used the like first, I guess, what's it called? Emblem Engage or whatever it was when they kind of like use the super form. I wonder if it's like a different super form for each like emblem you use. So I want to see if that's the case, or if it's just like Alir has like one super form that activates no matter which one he uses, which is probably that's what I think is gonna happen, but it might not be. Like this thing right here, this form, he has these like giant propeller things. I'm wondering if that's like this is just his specific form, or if it's like when you put it on a Lear, he gets something. He gets this form if he's using whatever emblem he's engaging
a
with.
more casual take on the idea. They are being easily exchangeable for the sake of allowing more experimentation. And to make sure people wouldn't see them as just items, emblems were given their own type of supports, bond conversations with their wielders after being paired for enough time, which also plays a role with allowing their users to learn skills, increase weapon proficiencies, and even unlock classes they would normally lack access
Then
to.
again, now that I'm thinking about it, it might be the fact that if you get these emblems, they might be locked to certain characters. Now I'm thinking about it, or you might have to like give them to certain characters. I don't know if you can have like, for example, a Lear have being able to use all of them, but then like you can give one to this character, this one other character, and if you want, you can switch them out. You know, I hope you can do that because if you can do it, that would be nice. But I'm also not sure.
Incidentally, emblems are used very early on into the game because, according to the director, he wanted to show people that strategy RPGs could not be as complicated as it's often believed. People often say that turn-based tactical RPGs seem difficult or too complicated. In fact, I'm not very good at them myself. So, from the beginning, we wanted to make this game something that looks intriguing and motivates players to try, rather than making them think they can easily take up this challenge. For that reason, Alir and Emblem Marth can engage and merge from the very first stage. The engage feature
Good.
makes the game easier to play, even if tactics aren't their forte. Players can progress in the game by relying on the power and momentum that the engage feature brings from the beginning. And for those seasoned franchise players, the element of pairing up adds to the tactics and creates fun challenges as well as replayability. In any case, the developers were also fully aware of how the emblem mechanic could potentially break the game if not balanced correctly. So to avoid this, they brought Yuya Ishii as planning director halfway through development for the sake of somehow making everything work. It wasn't just balancing the weapon triangle that was difficult.
bro, man, they just said like, "Hey, your job is to make it work. We don't know how. We done made everything, bro. Well, half of everything, but you got to come in and you just have to make it all like do the thing together. Have fun."
For Fire Emblem Engage, we were aiming for a clear-cut, flashy direction, but if we made the characters too strong from the beginning, we were concerned players might not find the game very challenging. Also, because of the nature of the game, where the player tactically moves the characters on a square-based grid, it was difficult to introduce an ability that was too dynamic even for the emblems. Because of the nature of the game, can you elaborate on that? Even though we came up with many different abilities, the stage designer said, if the character can move up to 5 additional grid spaces by engaging with Sigurd, the tactic would break, and there wouldn't even be a battle. On our end, we were thinking the characters actually need to move further than that, because without it, we won't be able to communicate the increased character movement, nor will it look appealing. Come to think of it, our requests were so outlandish. So we had the planning director, Ishii-san, join
Huh. Okay. So I kind of feel like it would have been better had he been able to move a little bit further. But if they were going to do that, I would say that, you know, emblem engaging or whatever should be a little bit further in. Because, like, literally the start of the game, the very first fight, which you come upon, like, really quickly, like, after a couple of minutes, you can use the engage feature. As a matter of fact, you're, like, fighting the final boss or something like that. It's like a flashback to what happened before.
Joined the team in the middle of development to ask him to somehow make everything work, including dramatic travel distance as well as teleporting. Asked him to somehow make everything work. That's quite a request.
Yeah.
It must have been tough for Ishi-san.
Your job is to make it work.
Came to look for Engage's character.
No. No. Look, these these like different tone hairs is fine when like one of them is like muted, right? You didn't have like stark black on white, which would have looked it would have looked iffy, but it would have been acceptable. But this is so garbage. Like, it's acceptable in the clothes because it's like none of it is directly held next to it. This is egregious. They are so lucky I like this game. He's acceptable because his hair isn't as long, so it didn't draw attention. Hers draws all of this attention. Like, no, it creates our whole entire form. Like, no.
Systems wanted to find someone whose artistic design could appeal to a wide
I'm so mad because they made all these other ones look so good. Like,
a wide variety of characters. And while they had many candidates, no one struck a chord with the developers like Mika.
look at the armor. This is actual good looking armor.
As her vivid style with bold yet bumpy colors was exactly what they wanted. Picasso was more than happy with the game. After all, she's also a big Fire Emblem fan. She had a few concerns due to her inexperience drawing older characters and creatures, which nevertheless was determined to overcome with Engage.
This character is interesting. This one's interesting.
Celine as her first character.
All of these are so good.
The upcoming ones. We had several candidates. We were
Right.
looking
I guess.
for an
Hey, that looks raw.
would appeal to a
And then like you get back here and you look at this and it like, and it's literally just the colors. Cause like the actual designs themselves are good. Like the actual forms and everything you use. The forms and everything are good. The characters look nice. The 2-eye thing would have been cool because I'm pretty sure like I know what the color hair alludes to. But like the mix of them, like that's so. Make one of them like muted or something, or I don't know, like I don't know how they could have done it, but they shouldn't have done this.
Engage's character.
This feels like I'm back in kindergarten and I'm finger painting with like some bright red and bright blue paint.
Artist intelligence coming ones. We had several candidates. The one she gave
Hold on, let's see.
wanted for this title. Songs were colorful, vivid. Design style would appeal to a broad audience, including younger players, as well as the ability to portray
Yeah,
a
I could tell they were reaching out for a younger audience with this because of how the designs look. This character looks interesting.
variety of
This one looks
characters.
interesting.
Candidates Mika
It's
Picasso's
okay.
drawings were colorful, vivid, and really popped.
This one is really interesting,
For the flashy direction we wanted to
especially with the
provide,
like
it was a unanimous vote
mouth
from
with the
entire
it's
team
called.
saying she's the one. She gave us many ideas like let's make Alir's hair color red and blue, or things like for Klan and Fran, green.
Nope. So now I know that she definitely came up with the idea herself. That is the worst part. No, I can't wait. It has to be somewhere in the game where like you get a second form or something and the hair color changes. I need it. I need it. And if it's just like you become evil or something, and so you can get red hair, like I'll just take the evil path because like we can't do this two-tone blue and bright saturated blue, bright saturated red. We just can't do that. We just can't.
Red might be good, considering the previous titles in the series. That said, one concern she had, since she usually draws young characters, she was concerned about her confidence level in some of the character design. It's true that the
Both of these characters
should
look raw.
not be limited to drawing cool nobles and young girls.
I don't
Fire Emblem
necessarily
are
like
a
him,
variety of
but
characters
these two
and
characters I like.
creatures, and on top of that, they need to be able to draw armor, weapons, and creatures like Pegasuses. But Mika
Pegasuses.
Picasso was up for the challenge.
Hey, this one's the rawest one I've seen so far.
Translating her designs into 3D models, she was deeply involved with the process, providing not only pointers for the modelers to follow, but also giving
This
them
one's
more
okay.
once these finally captured her vision. Combat animations. Moving into the combat animations and the philosophy behind them, a lot of care was put into them this time around, thanks to the fact that Engage didn't have to consider the
He's the best male character design.
like in Three Houses. A lot of freedom was
It's
given
kind of
as a
like
result, allowing them the chance to create
sad.
flashier
It's kind of sad to me that like male characters in video games don't have better designs. I feel like the female characters tend to have better designs and like a wider. Well, sometimes have a wider berth because other times they just bikini armor it, and then it's like, it's like, all right, cool. I guess so. I guess it's appealing.
The previous title, Fire Emblem Three Houses, was
Like
the
she looks like
canonical sequel.
she looks like a she looks like she could be from like One Piece. Was that? Hold on. Was that Beach Princess? Like, look at this. Is this the one with the balls in her hair and everything? I told you looked like she came from the beach. That's raw. That helmet was raw.
If the movement is limited to one character, it made it look like others in a battalion were not following, so we didn't have much choice but to tone down the actions. But this time, we could plan out the battle scenes on an individual basis, so we asked intelligence systems to make the actions as flashy as possible, like adding a dash motion effect when soldiers attack, or allowing one to shoot an arrow from a fort, and so on. Closing thoughts. The interview ends with the game's director mentioning that with Engage, he wanted to make a game that could appeal to those who would normally struggle getting into strategy RPGs. At the same time, Yokota, one of the producers, comments that the whole idea of choice has become very important with Fire Emblem when it comes to the various ways players can experience the game, which he hoped to convey with Engage. As for what awaits Engage's future, it was mentioned that besides the paid DLC content from the expansion pass, a free update later down the line will add more facilities to Somniel, and asks fans to look forward to that. We have a lot of characters, so I hope many players will relate to the story and cry and laugh along with the characters. If you find a favorite character in this game, we hope you'll continue to be a fan of them for many years to come. We believe that the charm of Fire Emblem games is that players become attached to the characters through gameplay, and
Yep.
that the characters grow beyond the game.
I know about that. That's actually depressing. Don't ever do that. Don't let the characters grow beyond the game. That's how I remember like sitting in my room and feeling like lonely because I was watching Naruto because the characters was like growing beyond the thing, and I'm just like, I wish I could be there. It's like, no, don't go down that road. That's like the most depressing thought process ever. Don't do that.
In my opinion, there are a lot of interesting and somewhat both validating and concerning information within. For me, this mostly has to do with some of the quotes from Tsukomu with regards to Alir's personality and his thoughts on main character motivations, Higuchi's quote on relatability, and Picasso's self-expressed concerns of our limitations on illustrating older characters. I do believe that this article will be more relevant to my review of the game's story and characters down the Engage content pipeline, but I suppose time will tell soon. But the emphasis on gameplay, graphics, and replayability has me pretty excited to see the full breadth of the game tomorrow. While there's a clear focus on a lighter, more traditional hero fantasy story, I'm still hoping for solid execution, as there seems to be less focus on
I'm so mad because she pulled off like I wouldn't think that somebody would be able to pull off like a red and blue design. And it works like all throughout the character, just not the hair. That's the only reason why he's acceptable. Because like with the other one, her hair is huge, and so it's just like all in your face. And it's so harmful to the eyes. But I like this.
historical and political
I like
novels.
he's
I
acceptable, yeah.
cannot wait to see you all in stream tomorrow. Comment down below your
I
thoughts
did
on
that
this
fight.
video, whether there
I
are
put it
any
on like
things
hard.
really interesting or concerning down below, and please leave a like. As
In the
a
beginning,
like helps
she ain't do nothing the first fight. We literally like were trying to save them.
Thanks for watching. Deuces.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, that's his thing. The why. I would like to. This would have been better. Black and white hair. That would have been nice. Just don't give me that other stuff. Should be illegal to eat like this.
Hello
What's this?
everyone, this is your daily dose of internet. I
This
don't
is
know if I should be
your-
upset
This is your daily dose.
or impressed that this guy can eat Jolly Ranchers like this.
So I'm eating Jolly Ranchers, right? They gave me no.
Yo, I used to eat them like that, Well, not like that. I would chew them and like break them, but like I had to do it slowly because I'm just like I don't want to destroy my teeth. This bro man is on some other crazy stuff. He ain't gonna have no teeth when he get older.
Raspberry, though.
Back up. What you doing? Wait, did we watch this one already?
We're gonna have to sell your feet pictures.
This woman lost her belly button from a medical procedure, but this tattoo artist was able to give it back to her.
No. No. Both of those look. Yeah. The first one looks. I don't know why that looks like a Silent Hill thing, and then this looks like. That reminds me of Aphex Twin. I don't know why. She's like, please help.
You never know what you'll find in your toilet in Australia.
Hey, bro.
This person owns a snake with a little smiley face.
Ha. Like how he has no pigment everywhere except for his head in there. That's crazy. Right. Screw your whole entire
This
notebook.
person figured out
How
to
dare
go
you.
skiing, but without the skis. I thought this was interesting because I have never seen this before, but this is how
Planes.
quickly the air traffic in the United States shut down after the attacks on September.
That's crazy. Everything is over here. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. Because all this area, it's like, it's not as many people here. That's part of the reason why when we have Republicans talking about like how many states they get and all that crap and everything, like, how could they possibly win? It must have been stolen. It's like, well, nobody's here. Like, these places all have like tiny populations as opposed to like here and like this is just
September 11th,
ridiculous.
2001.
Hot. They all went like, nope. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. So people got blipped. Hold on.
My dad and I did a fun little experiment. You can make a cool trippy effect if you take the flashlight on your phone and move it through a laundry basket.
That's cool.
That is the end of this video. Happy Halloween, and I'll see you guys again very, very
It's
soon.
kind of sad that you
Later.
can only see stuff like that when it's like sped up. Why? Why? Furriness. No, we don't need it. Spooderman trailer. We're gonna watch this. Gonna be last thing I watch.
The world wants, and I'm not the hero the world needs, but I am the hero that the world gets. Before my uncle died, he told me I was special, and I'm gonna
No.
prove he was right.
Wait, hold on. Did they just do it? Did they just rickroll me? I hate you.
I'm gonna fight all the bad guys and be a hero.
Masked criminal Spooderman strikes again.
Whoa, they're posting pictures of me. Hey, I'm here to save the day.
Oh God, Spooderman, please don't.
Please don't.
Insane! Not again.
Not again.
Maybe I'm not.
Put in all the buildings.
Who are you?
Venom. Venom. Venom.
Oh my gosh, it's more pictures of me.
All right. That's enough. All right. So that is me putting in my due diligence for the day. We're gonna get due diligence until I come alive, you know, when I'm feeling better. Trying to pull myself out the hole. But yeah, so I had a great time. Well, I had a good time. I had a pretty good time. I like that one video. I like getting to share my thoughts with you about what stuff is. And yeah. Ooh, Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I need to see some stuff. But yeah. I hope y'all had a great time. Again, if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscription button. Make sure you hit the bell so you can catch all my videos. Yeah, and give me a like and give me a like and a comment. Also, what else? I feel like I'm forgetting something. No, I am forgetting something. Both on Twitch and YouTube, you all can find my links to my social media down in like the about and the description of the video and all that. You can find my Twitter, you can find my Instagram and all that mess and all that goodness. There should be a link tree as well, and I was supposed to add it to Twitch like 2 weeks ago, but I just didn't do it. I'm gonna do it I'm gonna do it right after I get off this. I'm not gonna do nothing else. I'm gonna go straight towards that. But yeah, I hope y'all had a great time and peace.